Alright folks, buckle up because today we're taking a long walk down memory lane, and not just any walk, but the one through Shawshank Prison. The Shawshank Redemption is one of those movies that somehow flew under the radar at first and then blasted through the roof to become an all-time classic. We're going to talk about development, plot, cast, writer, director, box office, critics, and of course the legacy and behind the scenes madness, and even what could have made it better, because nothing's perfect, right? So, if you're ready for a full-on, no-holds-barred rundown, let's get into it. The Shawshank Redemption started life as a Stephen King novella called Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption in his 1982 collection, Different Seasons. And before you roll your eyes thinking it's just another King's a horror guy story, nope. This one is more of a hopeful prison drama. The story caught the eye of producer Nicky Marvin, who bought the rights, and then came along Frank Darabont, who wrote the screenplay and directed the movie. Darabont was a King fanboy, like the kind who watches Cujo and doesn't just cringe, but thinks, hey, what if this was a love story? Originally, the project had trouble getting greenlit because, of course, prison dramas aren't exactly the cash cows Hollywood dreams of. Plus, it wasn't an action flick or a rom-com, so people were kind of wary. But Darabont stuck to his guns, and eventually, Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins got attached to the project, which helped sell the idea. Production started in 1993, mostly in Ohio prisons and rural areas that looked just grimy enough to fit the bill. Fun fact though, Darabont reportedly did so much research on prison life that even the guards were like, okay, calm down, Frank. At its core, Shawshank is about Andy Dufresne, played by Tim Robbins, a mild-mannered banker who gets sentenced to life in Shawshank State Penitentiary for a crime he insists he didn't commit, murdering his wife and her lover. Classic setup, right? But what makes this different is that it's not just about prison life. It's about hope, friendship, and a slow burn redemption arc that punches way above its weight emotionally. We follow Andy as he befriends Ellis Red Redding, played by Morgan Freeman, the wise, cynical lifer who narrates the story. Together, they navigate the brutal realities of prison life, corrupt guards, psychotic inmates, hopelessness. But Andy brings a quiet resilience and cleverness that eventually turns Shawshank on its head. And yes, there's a secret tunnel involved, because no prison movie is complete without a little escape plan vibes. Tim Robbins as Andy Dufresne is that nice guy with a steel spine. Robbins plays it so subtle that you almost forget he's in one of the most intense emotional rides ever put on film. And of course, there's Morgan Freeman as Red, whose voice alone could probably convince you to walk 5 miles through a thunderstorm. Freeman's narration isn't just exposition, it's the heart of the movie. Honestly, I have expected him to start narrating my life at some point. The supporting cast is full of characters that feel real enough to call for a reunion tour, from Bob Gunton's slimy Warden Norton to Clancy Brown's brutal Captain Hadley and William Sadler's hopeful Haywood. Hey, let's not forget the prison librarian Brooks, played by James Whitmore, whose heartbreaking story about institutionalization is a gut punch every time. It's the kind of cast that makes you wish you could join their book club, if only it weren't behind bars. Frank Darabont wore 2 hats here. He adapted King's novella and directed the film. This was Darabont's directorial debut, and honestly, it's so damn good, you think he's been doing it for decades. His screenplay is tight, heartfelt, and beautifully paced. He captures the slow passage of time in prison without making it boring, which is a miracle. Darabont's directing style, unflashy, but effective. He knows when to linger on a quiet moment and when to crank up the tension. He also brought a cinematic subtlety to a story that could have easily been overwrought. Plus, the voice of a narration. Now, some people hate voiceovers, I wonder why, but here it's gold because Morgan Freeman just makes it sound like a late night fireside chat. Here's the kicker. Shawshank actually bombed at the box office when it first came out in 1994. It pulled in just about $16 million domestically against a $25 million budget. Ouch! But then, the magic happened. The movie hit the home video market and cable TV, where it found a cult following that grew into full-blown obsession. By 1995, it was nominated for 7 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Actor for Freeman, which helped boost its profile. And today, it's considered one of the best movies ever made, often topping IMDb's user ratings and popping up in greatest films lists. So sometimes it pays to be patient, or just binge watch it over and over, like the rest of us. Critics were split at first. Some called it slow and overly sentimental, but many praised the performances and the story. Roger Ebert gave it 3.5 stars and called it remarkably good, which was a decent pat on the back. The consensus: a movie that grows on you, like an iced cheese or a prison tattoo. Fast forward to now, and it has a 91% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and an audience score that is basically perfect. The film's themes of hope and perseverance hit hard. The critics loved that it treats the prison drama genre with nuance instead of just gore and shock value. The Shawshank Redemption has become the poster child for the phrase sleeper hit. It's quoted in pop culture endlessly: get busy living or get busy dying. Studied in film classes, and it has also inspired people to believe in hope, even if you're stuck in the worst situation imaginable. There's even a Shawshank-themed prison escape room somewhere, which is just kind of meta. Plus, the movie is a favorite among inmates themselves. Ironic, but kind of perfect. It's also credited with showing the world that Stephen King isn't just about monsters and jump scares. By the way, the oak tree that Andy and Red sit under, it's a real tree. It's a real location. It's a real place for tons of fan pilgrimages. Morgan Freeman was actually the first and only choice to narrate this movie, which is lucky because who else could make you feel like you're hearing bedtime stories from a voice from heaven? The prison library scenes? Based on actual prison programs. The movie even inspired some real libraries to expand their collections. The now iconic poster of Rita Hayworth hiding in the tunnel was a last-minute prop idea, but now it's forever etched in film history. Tim Robbins got so into his role that he learned chess for the prison scenes, which is more commitment than most of us put into binge watching. Look, the movie is legendary, but a couple of things might raise some eyebrows today. The pacing can feel a bit slow for those used to non-stop action movies, but hey, patience is a virtue. Some secondary characters could have been fleshed out more, like Brooke's story. It's heartbreaking, but you kind of want to see more of his life. The bad guy, Warden Norton, is almost cartoonishly evil, but it kind of still works. But it could be deeper. But honestly, nitpicking Shawshank feels like arguing over the color of a sunset, doesn't it? Why is it highly recommended? Well, hope, friendship, and a little bit of magic. This movie is recommended, of course, because it's not just a prison story, it's a life story. It's about how hope can survive the darkest places, how friendship can be a lifetime, and how sometimes the quietest people make the biggest impact. Plus, if you ever need to feel inspired or watch two amazing actors give the performances of their careers, The Shawshank Redemption has you covered. It's a movie that's wise about being preachy, emotional without being melodramatic, and damn entertaining without sacrificing heart. So, if you haven't seen it, what are you doing? And if you have, well, time for another rewatch, trust me. Alright, what's your favorite Shawshank moment? Drop it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button harder than Andy smashed that rock wall, and subscribe for more movie madness right here on Muveematic. Till next time, take care and be safe.